EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to Week 18 in the National Football League. It's game day in Eagle Land, and we get a dose of Tanner McKee and the Eagles' backups today versus the Washington Commanders. Not much today to take. Other than that, we're waiting for seeding. We're going to figure out where the Eagles are in the playoff seed. We're going to figure out the rest of the NFC playoff teams, and we're going to get a good look at the most popular man in Philly this year, Sills. That is Tanner McKee. How you doing this Sunday afternoon, my friend?
Absolutely awesome and Scanner McKee Day, baby. This is really the only storyline going into this. Something else, though, Zander. This is going to give us a chance to take a look at some of the backup guys with depth, because I think they're going to need some of these guys when they're going to go into the playoffs here. You're going to need your full 53-man roster to get through the playoffs. Again, because of the inefficiencies of the offense, let's see some other guys step up and get some playing time today, which will help them. And I'm more saying that in the O-line, because of all the guys that have gone in and out of the offensive line over the last couple months. Let's take a look at how some of these guys play today. So this is going to have an exhibition feel and more like a week one game. You know what I mean? It's going to be like both of those kind of games going into this, but obviously the storyline. Also, you know what else the other storyline is going to be? How does Kevin Patullo call this game with a different skill-setted quarterback?
I agree. I think that's one of the most meaningful things to watch in this game because, we do have to get a feel on Kevin Patullo, especially if he's going to be back next year or not. Where is the holdup? What does that look like today with Tanner McKee? I'm excited to see Tanner McKee play. Sills, you hear a lot about the guy, but I think even jokes aside, and I understand we have a starting quarterback in Philly. That's not going to change. I do like Tanner McKee. I like his skill set. I like the way the dude approaches the game. I don't think he was drafted where he should have been drafted. I think he plays college ball at Stanford, and he fell down the draft board. I think the kid's got great talent. I really do. And every time he's been on the field, which has been, few and far between, he showed out pretty good. Sills, I'm excited to see Tanner McKee today.
Absolutely. He has a real good grasp for the pocket. And would we not agree, Xander? If that kid comes out of Alabama, he's probably a third rounder.
That's what I mean. I agree.
He comes out of a program that really is playing in a great conference instead of the influx of what the Pac-12 was when he was there. Maybe you're looking at a third or fourth round draft choice. You're looking at somebody in that conversation. So again, I'm looking forward to seeing how Kevin Patullo and him work, and I want to see how he spreads the football around. And what he's going to be forced to do, it's not going to be primary target Devonta Smith or A.J. Brown. You're going to have to spread it out to Cooper. You're going to have to go to Jahan Dotson. You're going to have to go to Calcaterra. You're going to have to go to your backs. He's going to have to spread the football out to move the chains in this ball game. And I want to see that skill set. By the way, will we not agree? If you were him and his agent, you go into this game going like this. Hey, man, put good tape up. Put good tape up because you might be auditioning for a high draft pick when it comes to the offseason here and what the Eagles want to do, because isn't it fair to say the better he plays today, the more of a conversation that is in the Eagle front office going, what do you do with the kid?
Well, I think it's I think, he has an opportunity to improve his trade value. I think it also maybe gives the Eagles an opportunity to look at their asset allocation. This is a team that has a lot of good defensive players coming up, getting ready for big contracts. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Jalen Phillips, who's traded here this year. You got Cooper and Quinion coming up soon. Nakobe Dean, are they going to pay him? I mean, there's a lot of different things to look at, and I think this is going to give the Eagles an opportunity to look at, how are their assets being allocated? Because there's a lot of money on that offense right now, and I don't know if it will stay that way. You brought up an interesting point about Tanner, where it's not going to be the same type of offense where everything is focused on a couple players. Last year, still, was Week 18. Tanner McKee played. He was 27 for 41 in the game for 269 and 2 touchdowns with a 100 quarterback rating. He had 8 receivers.
Right.
Catch a football, not all receivers, tight ends, receivers, backs. 8 people caught a football in that. 8 targets. Yep. 8 people caught a pass in that game. So it is going to be interesting to see. Remember, you also had Dallas Goedert played in Week 18 last year. I don't assume he will play today. So Jahan Dotson, some of these guys, it's going to be interesting to see who Tanner gets the ball to. Darius Cooper, not the greatest cast for him, but he's a guy who will get him the ball, Sills.
Absolutely. And you know what? I guarantee you see a great game called by Kevin Patullo and by Nick. This is the skill set that they were raised on. The Phillip Riverses of the world, because he matches more so the skill set of Rivers than what Jalen Hurts does. So I think they're going to have a great opportunity. I posted this out there. You think he goes north of 225 yards and 2 touchdowns today?
You know, I'm wondering this, Sills. My in a vacuum answer is yes, because that's kind of ball he plays, right? He doesn't run the football. I mean, his way to win is
he has to dissect defense.
Yeah, he has to dissect, and that's why he normally does throw for a good amount of yards. He gets the ball that quick, very on-time quarterback. I mean, even if you watch his preseason game this year, he played the Bengals starters, if you remember, first off. Ball comes out quick. So my question is, the Eagles have, and John's pointed this out, the Eagles have gotten caught reading the headlines a little bit this year. And how much do they factor in the fact that they know the noise on the offense? Do you think they try and avoid – I don't think it'd be the right thing to do, but do you think they try and avoid some of those conversations? Let's keep it vanilla. Let's not let Tanner have this big, great game because we don't feel like hearing about it going into the playoff game. Let's just let him throw 20 passes out there, throw for 175. You win the game by running it heavily with Will Shipley and Tank Bigsby. Do you think they could be thinking like that? Or do you think Kevin Patullo's like, hey, man, this is my opportunity to show people what I can do, in a different style of offense? There's multiple ways to look at it. I wonder which way the Eagles
Okay, well, let's go what you always tell me. It's the Philly way. Do you think that, again, heading into this football game, do you think the organization ever plays office politics?
They all the time. Yeah.
Okay, well, here's office politics in this game. I think you're going to see Tanner McKee and the ball's going to be spread around, and they get a lead. They're going to do the same thing they did in that Buffalo game. They're going to throttle it back.
Right.
They're going to not want to show anything. And so, Zander, let me ask you this, man. Okay, all of a sudden, next week, I have 17 million views. I'm coming to you next week going, hey, next time when you and me negotiate our contract, how you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So do you want to raise the stock value of Tanner McKee if you're planning on keeping him or planning on dealing him or figuring out what you're going to do with the guy? Because remember, I said this to you on Friday, the better that guy plays, the more headaches you kind of create for the front office on what to do.
That's true. It's going to be interesting to see what they end up doing here, Sills, with Tan and McKee. All right, I think they're going to have a good game plan for him, but I hope they let him move. I hope they let him play ball and don't worry about any of the external crap.
I hope this doesn't turn into a jackass game. And what I mean by that is a Dan Campbell jackass game. Or excuse me, a Dan Quinn jackass game.
Yeah.
I get it. It's going to be, he's got this ass and he's made up this narrative that there was some sort of stupid thing that Nick did and the Eagles did by, the extra point or going for 2 or whatever. I hope it doesn't get down that lane because, again, just go out there, play hard, end the ball game. I don't know what Dan Quinn was thinking when he made those comments this week. I guess it was to fire his third team guys up for today. I mean, it's a stupid narrative, dude. You should have been thinking about playing hard 10 weeks ago.
Yeah, Dan Quinn's a little bit of a goofy to me, but
yeah.
We'll see what ends up happening in this game. I do think the trade value conversation, that's another good point by you. Is it, do they want Tanner to improve his trade value so they can extract a second or third round pick? Or do they want to keep his contract low so they can sign him to keep him on as backup for the next couple of years? They like to draft quarterbacks. So if they don't have any vision for Tanner in the future, I would assume they want to improve that trade value.
But I would also throw this in there. I don't think you're going to climb out of Nick's character and how he wants to win a game either. Like we saw, if you're going to hold Jalen Hurts back in the second half against the Bills, you're going to also pull back when you get a lead against an inferior football team, are you not?
True. That's true. That's true. I'm curious to see what Tanner McKee does today. Sills, any other players you're looking? I'm looking for Jahan Dotson, because I think he's another guy that I assume he's going to be going after this year, but I do like to see how well he plays because I don't think he gets enough opportunity in our offense. Darius Cooper was a camp name. I think is a real fun, name to watch today. How well does he do? He's never played in a regular season environment with Tanner McKee. I know they had good chemistry in the preseason, so that's a good one to me. And then the backup offensive lineman, Sills. Like with all these draft picks, man, All of them. They've made multiple 5 draft picks, I think, on offensive line in the last couple of years. Now, no premium, but, Cam Williams, Hinton, all these guys, how do they look out there, with the offensive line, obviously, in mostly reserve mode? So those are mine. I don't know who you're thinking about out there today.
I want to see how Tank Bigsby handles himself with high volume of carries.
Right.
Because do we not agree that Tank traditionally in ball games, it's going to be anywhere between 2 and 3 carries most? That happens when he has to go out there and carry the ball 10 or 11 or 12 times in a ball game. Because what was the one thing and one of the reasons that Jacksonville moved off him? He put the ball on the carpet.
Yep.
So if you're going to have him in ball games and you're going to utilize him coming up in these games in the playoffs here, I want to take a look at him. By the way, I would also say, I'm assuming Sidney Brown's going to play in this ball game, right?
You would think so, yeah.
You would think that you're going to see some snaps and he probably starts in this game. Well, dude, he's a 3rd-round draft choice.
I got my projected starters if you want to hear them.
Yeah, I would love to hear them.
All right. This is just my estimate.
My last guy would be Trotter. My last guy would be Trotter. I want to see Trotter play.
So this is just my estimation. I have no idea if this is going to come true. This is who I think will start today. QB, Tanner McKee. Tank Bigsby, running back. My 3 receivers today, I think, will be Jahan Dotson, Darius Cooper, and Britton Covey. Tight end, Grant Calcaterra. Left tackle, I think you're going to go, or let's go with just the 5 offensive linemen. Fred Johnson, I think, is going to play. Got to play somebody. Brett Toth, Drew Kendall, rookie out of Notre Dame. Or no, was he Notre Dame? No,
Boston College, I thought.
Boston College, that's it. Thank you. Matt Pryor, and then Cam Williams, another rookie. Yep. And then on the defensive side, I have Josh Uche, Ty Robinson, Byron Young, Moro Ujoma, who I don't know if he's going to play. I just put him in there. Jalix Hunt, who I think they could have play. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Smile Munden. And then you got Ringo, Bennett, and Carter as your cornerbacks. And then Sidney Brown and Brandon Johnson, they just called up from the practice squad. So those are who I think will be your starters. I don't know how accurate I'll be, but we'll see.
I'd like to see that tandem of Munden and Trotter.
Yeah, me too.
Playing in the middle there and see how that goes. And also, too, who did you project at the 2 defensive inside players for Davis and Carter?
Well, I put Byron Young in there, and I put Ty Robinson and Moro Ujoma. I don't know if Ujoma will play. By the way, one name I left out. Thank you, Dan from Philly. Brandon Graham is playing today. They're going to play him, and he's supposedly going to get a lot of snaps.
Good. That'll increase his conditioning to be able to get him some more reps because he needs reps going into the postseason.
Yeah, and remember,
limited reps.
This is probably the end for Brandon, so he wants to play.
How about this too? Wouldn't this be an opportunity for you to put Jahad Campbell out there at the edge and get him some edge reps now that you're not going to play? Some guys out there that your starters. You're not going to play Phillips out there. You're not going to play. You might play Jalix Hunt. I don't know how much they would play him. Wouldn't you want to play Nolan Smith in this game?
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you want to get him some reps? I mean, I would want to get Nolan Smith, and I would also want to see Jahad Campbell out there at the edge. Just a couple reps, Xander. You never know when you're going to need that if someone goes down. It's the reason why they're playing Brandon as well. You never know what you're going to need in a rotation going into the playoffs here, because let's take a look at it right now. After what we saw last night, there is no question. You got to play 4 games unless somebody gets upset, right? In the playoffs, you got to play 4 games if you're going to win a Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, it's true. What did you make of that game last night, dude? San Francisco loses the game, and Seattle gets the 1 seed.
I think Seahawks defense is spectacular. They run to the football. That kid Smith, that wide receiver kid is spectacular. Hey, I got to give it to Sam Darnold, man. 28-6 in 2 years. Last year, he had a horrible game against the Lions at the end of the season, and it was really to win the division. Remember last year, the winner of that game won the division?
Yeah.
Well, he got into a game like that, and really it was almost a carbon copy. This time he closed the deal, and they won it. And now they won the division, and they not only won the division, they won the number 1 overall seed. It was an exact carbon copy, Xander, of a year ago. And he kind of righted the ship here. Now, the next step is this, right? Let's see what he does in the playoffs. Yeah. Does he right the ship in the playoffs? That's a tough place to play, dude. I don't care who the quarterback is. Hey, remember something? They went to a Super Bowl with Matt Hasselbeck.
I know that. Did it make you change at all, Sills, that the league is, You can win with bad offense right now. I mean, let's be real.
Or a marginal quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the Seattle offense wasn't great last night. What was the final game? 13-3, I think it was.
Something like that, right?
13. It was something low. I mean, Brock Purdy didn't play his best game. Seattle or San Francisco, they barely moved the ball at all. I think they had like 40 yards in the first half of the game. It was terrible.
They had no rushing yards until the third quarter.
Dude, I tell you what, the Super Bowl this year might be 9-3. The Eagles win over the Denver Broncos.
How about this, Zander? Listen to this number on Darnold here. So after last year here, this guy now, he put another team at 14-3, two different football teams. This year he ends up with 4,050 yards passing and 25 touchdowns. In the last 2 years, this guy has thrown for 8,367 yards and 60 touchdowns with a 28-6 record. I don't think you can just dismiss that, dude. That's an awful impressive line the last 2 years. Listen, I find myself going, dude, hold on here. You're not talking about freaking Tom Brady. You're talking about Sam Darnold. This guy was a cast-off journeyman, and all of a sudden now, a journeyman's 28-6 with two different teams, two different coaching staffs. It's hard. It's hard to go it's hard to dismiss it, but it's also hard to go, that's the team to beat for the Super Bowl. I can't say that yet.
The newest Josh Allen on the channel is Sam Darnold.
Not me, man. I still find myself gagging every time I say his name.
You love this guy, Sam Darnold. All right, so here's an interesting.
I love the winning, and I love the fact that he was a guy that was thrown into the trash can.
Here's an interesting tidbit. Ready? I don't know who's playing today or not. Out there warming up right now with Tanner McKee is Devonta Smith. Remember, he's about 60 yards shy of that 1,000-yard mark. I wonder if they're going to try and get him it. Boy, that means they'd be going to him heavy. Take the over on the Tanner McKee yards. He might come out with 60 straight to Devonta Smith to start the game. So let me look up what Devonta has on the season.
Yeah, he's got like 949 or something.
That's what I
941.
956. So he's 44 yards away. 44 yards away. Do they come to him in Series 1 with Tanner McKee and get him the ball? We'll see if Devonta Smith plays today.
So wait a minute. So you give that kid his ability to get 1,000 yards, and last year you didn't give Saquon the ability to get 2,105. Right. Boy, that seems really. I mean, really? Or is it because,
I don't know if
that's Howie's guy, and Howie wants him to get whatever he needs, and Saquon was a free agent guy. I mean, where your priorities are a little bit. You're confusing us a little. You told me those things didn't matter. Now they matter.
Well, remember, we got the Mormon missile out there today, dude. He could pick up 44 yards and 2 pass attempts. I mean, you're talking we could see the best passing game we've seen all year today, Sills. Devonta might run out 100 yards in the first quarter.
Holy cow. This guy goes. So headline. What will the headline be on Monday if he's 301 with 3 touchdowns and 28 and 36?
So, Bob Brown was asking about that in the chat. Shout out to Bob Brown. Bob, if you're listening, appreciate you, brother, as always. I think he brought up the point on asset allocation. I don't think anything drastic happens. I really don't.
Nothing's going to happen. What's the narrative?
But I do think the Eagles have to, remember, this is a business, and they have a big business decisions to make coming up. I think they're going to have to look at some things, honestly, if the offense hums down. I don't know how well it's going to, and you're not going to put too much stock into it because you're playing the Commanders. But, didn't we just play the Commanders a couple weeks ago? I mean,
you were down in the first half to them.
Yeah, right. So let's see what they do today. But what do you think Tanner's stat line is going to be today?
I think it's going to be like 262, 28 to 36 for 2 touchdowns. Yeah. I think he's going to throw the ball all over.
And it's going to be a smooth 260.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a grinded out 260.
It's going to be like this. Back, throw, middle. How about this? Let's put this out there. How many passes across the middle of the field do you think you'll see today? Under 5.
All over the yard he's throwing today. It's beautiful out today, too.
Jalen never throws across the middle.
By the way, did anybody see the new end zones they put in for the Kelly Greens? Did you see those?
I did, yes.
Oh, I love that shit.
I love it too, man.
Man, they are
I'm
cool.
all over those Kelly.
They got this deep night gray.
I wish that was their normal jersey.
Me too, man. What are we doing with this midnight green? I get it. People like the midnight. We've won 2 Super Bowls now.
I think it reminds people too much of Norman Brayman.
I don't give a shit what it reminds people of. It's magical. And by the way, whenever you see the most memorable color for this team when you're out and about is the Kelly green. They have an opportunity to me to make the Kelly green iconic, especially in the era of Eagle football. I mean, you go anywhere in life, you see a Yankee hat. Doesn't matter if you're in Europe, you're in Asia. It doesn't matter where you are. You see a Yankee hat. Let's make the Kelly green iconic again. Here are
the jerseys I see in the stands the most. I see Reggie, Jerome, Cunningham. I'll see a Dawkins. And then I'll see some of the modern guys. But I see a ton of them old Kelly green dudes in the stands at Lincoln Financial today. I see them.
It just to me has a more iconic feel.
It does.
Like look, this is a fine hat. This is a beautiful hat with a nice logo. But like, what has a more macro?
Oh yeah.
What has a more big feel? Like,
man, I love that.
This is the brand right
here. Dude, I love that hat.
Yeah, dude. Come on, Jeffrey.
Looking hat.
Let me get some Kelly green action,
dude,
man.
I like that.
You know what I really want, dude? You know what I really want? The old school white Kelly green uniform, white with the Kelly green logos. That would be fine.
Yeah, that's the away jerseys. Those things are dope, man.
That would be awesome. Let's get those.
I played against those.
That's right. We're going to get John McMullen up shortly. He's at the stadium, so we'll talk to him in a little bit. Let's go to some supers here. Walkout, what's up, brother? Happy birthday, Sileo. Everybody, I got an announcement to make. Sileo's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, you geezer. I forgot to text Sileo. He joins the pregame show. He's got this stink face on. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yes.
Guys, it's your birthday. I don't even text my brother on his birthday.
Yes.
But I did have to text Sileo.
Who's the only asshole that didn't text me? Him.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll have to crack up a message. What happens going forward if Tanner throws for over 400?
Oh, my
yards?
God. When's the last time we had a 400-yard passer?
Has Hurts thrown for 400 recently?
Has he ever?
Oh, no.
Has Hurts ever thrown for 400 yards before?
Passing yards in a game. Let me look that up. I don't think he's ever. No, 380 is his career high.
There's no way on the planet.
Versus the shitty
Bro,
type.
There's no way on the planet they're going to let him throw for 450.
387 is his high. Sorry.
Gets to Atlanta?
No, that was versus Kansas City. 380 versus Tennessee.
Was that in the Super Bowl?
No.
Kansas was the game at Arrowhead?
Yeah, October 2021. Okay. This is real. Wait. Is that?
No, that was the game at 23. When they were at the Arrowhead.
23. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
They lost that game. This was in 21 when Hurts was a first-year starter.
Wow.
He threw for 387. They lost 42-30 in that game.
Wow. Okay.
He threw for 380 in 22 versus Tennessee. That's it, though. We've never had 400.
Oof. Huh. That's a tough one, man. 400 yards passing in a ball game.
It is. That's rarefied. Here's Riot. What's up, brother? Happy B-Day, Big Sills. I'll have a whiskey in your honor. Also, Zander, watching the game last night has given me more confidence in our squad to win the NFC. And McKee goes for 302 tutties today. Tanner Manning, baby.
Why does it give you more confidence?
Because you're seeing teams win like we win, low scoring and defensive ball games. If we have a low scoring defensive ball, just like you said with your Miami team.
Yep.
You want to keep it low scoring, man. And that's what this Eagles team needs. They're not a great offense. So you don't want a 42-38 like you saw in the Niners and the Bears a couple weeks ago.
Would you agree your take and people in Philly's take is this? I don't see anybody with a high-powered offense that's going to put up any kind of crazy points against us. And to me, I see a lot of teams with a lot of unbalance, dense in the fender, so to speak. And if that's the case, I'll take my chances versus those teams any day. Right? Is that where you are? You'll take your chance. Okay.
Put it this way.
Because I don't think anybody in Seattle sitting there going, Philly doesn't frighten me.
But the Eagles, here's the one thing about this Eagles team, too. The offense might stink, but they know how to win games. Like if the Eagles were in that game last night versus Seattle and it's 13-3 late, I think the Eagles can win that football game. I do. And a game
You think they're
like
better
that.
defense than Seattle? By the way, Seattle's in the best division in football.
It's true. And remember, the one thing that knocked me a little bit on that Seattle defense was that game versus the Rams when they couldn't stop them at all. I think they had 30 points, 38 points, or whatever it was in that game. But that Seattle defense over the course of the season has been really good. I think the Eagles defense is right there, though. I think they're the same.
So you think that their secondary, their corners, the linebacker play, and the D-line play, you think that Jalen Phillips is the same as that end and went over there from Dallas, and the defensive tackle Carter is the same in there with their linemen too? Because so you think they're pretty even? That comes off a little bit like that. I would say that too. I would.
One more, and then we have a couple more supers. We'll get to all of them. Don't worry, everybody. We also have the inactives I'll give you, and then we got Johnny Mack coming up from the stadium. So the inactives are out. I'll give you them when John joins. Kyle says, Sills, a lot of these Seahawk players were drafted by Pete Carroll. It's true.
That's correct. That's right. And a defensive-minded guy has taken over that football team too and done a pretty good job with that football team. So
and I think Clint Kubiak's done a decent job. Obviously, done a good enough job.
He'll be up for one of the jobs when one of these guys get fired tomorrow or on Monday.
We got to bring in the number one Darnold truther himself is John McMullen. He joins us right here on a pregame show. J Mac, are you out there, my friend? Sam Darnold is number one in the NFC. Johnny Mac.
Yeah, man. Well, you saw that stat yesterday. Whatever Seattle, how many wins does Seattle have? 14?
14-3, John.
So there's 5 quarterbacks in the history of this game that have won 14 games 2 consecutive seasons. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, and Sam Darnold.
Oh, man, John.
So
John, 2 different teams, too.
2 different teams. It ain't easy to win 14 games.
No way. It ain't easy to win one game.
So for the people that think he can't play, you're exposing yourself when you say that. Now, does he have limitations? Of course he has limitations. But you win 14 games. I just gave you the names. You win 14 games in the NFL over 2 seasons with 2 different organizations, and he can't play because you want to spike the football when he was the 5th overall pick? That's who all these morons are. They said they wrote him off, and they think people can improve, and he's improved in front of their very eyes, and they're going to deny it until the bitter end.
How about this, John? Over the last 2 years, 8,367 passing yards. He's got 60 touchdown passes, and he's 28-6, as you said. I mean, if you want to go down the lane of a guy failing early in his career, people forget Kurt Warner was cut 5 times. Yeah. So, sometimes it's finding the right organizations to elevate your talent, and that's what's happened here with Minnesota and with Seattle.
Yeah, I think if you look at the difference between Justin Jefferson last year and this year, you look at the difference between Jackson Smith and Jigba last year to this year. I mean, come on, guys. Really, people are still out there complaining that guy can't play. Now, he's still got to prove it in the playoffs. I get it. I don't look at that team and say that's a strong number 1 seed. I don't. I think this is a weaker bracket, and that bodes well for the Eagles than last year was. When the Eagles got a little bit of a break when Detroit got bounced early. So, look, I think it's set up really, really nicely for the Eagles. But if you think going to Seattle, you better hope somebody knocks them off, because that's not a place you want to play in the NFC Championship game.
No doubt, Johnny Mac. Interesting game last night. We will see how the rest of the seeding unfolds today. Eagles could end up with the 3 or the 2 still. It depends what happens in that Bears game and the Eagles game today. So still 3 potential matchups for the Eagles in the wild card round. It would be the Packers if they got the 2 seed, and then the Rams or the 49ers. John, shifting gears to today's game. We're calling it the Tanner McKee Bowl, my friend. What are you looking for in today's matchup between the 11-5 Eagles and the 4-12 Commanders? Set to kick off at 4:25 today.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, not much. I mean, it is what it is. It's a Week 18 game where everybody's resting for the most part, the key players. So you want to see the young guys play well with their opportunity. Um, and it's from that standpoint, it's somewhat exciting to see some of the players you don't typically get to see, like Tanner McKee, like Tank Bigsby, um, and things like that. But I don't think you're going to sit there and after this game and claim that it means anything from the standpoint of moving forward or anything in that. It's sort of pressing the pause button before the tournament starts.
John, don't you think also something interesting in the game is to see the dynamic between Kevin Patullo and also with Tanner McKee on how they approach? I mean, spreading the ball around, how they're going to throw the ball, how they're going to run the football. I'm going to be interested to see the high volume with Tank Bigsby because, as I mentioned to Zander, John, one of the big criticisms of Bigsby was high volume carries. He puts the ball on the ground, and if you're going to use him in the postseason, especially in critical situations down in the red zone, I'd like to see how he handles himself with the high volume in a game here coming up. So, again, like you said, it's going to be more about watching some of the backups, but I'm going to be really interested to see how Kevin Patullo and Tanner McKee operate together as they go forward with this passing game today. That's going to be something to keep an eye on and watch.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit different. I think it was a little bit different last year in Week 18, and I think people are going to make a big deal out of it, and I don't think it's going to be a big deal. They're different styles of quarterbacks. They're going to play a different style of football, and I think you're going to see that as the game. Look, Tank Bigsby isn't going to play a lot in the playoffs. I hate to break it to people. If he does, it's because Saquon Barkley got hurt, and that's the last thing you want. So, yeah, so from the standpoint of moving forward and trying to evaluate some developmental guys, I think it's valuable from that standpoint. But yeah, it's got a little bit of a third preseason game feel, other than you don't have 90 guys to use, so it's players on your roster. Some guys are going to have to dress. It looks like Tyler Steen's going to start at right guard. Some of the edge rushers are going to have to play because you don't have big numbers there. But if all goes well, the Eagles are going to get those starters that do have to play out pretty quickly.
Hey, John, real quick, Zander. So there were signs of Devonta Smith out there catching footballs from Tanner McKee. You think he gets during the mode right now of trying to get him that 1,000 yards?
As they do pre-games, I'll see if he's out there. I don't think they are, but again, that's a position where really they only have Jahan Dotson, Britton Covey, and who am I missing? They only have three sort of receivers you can go to. Oh, Darius Cooper. Yeah, Darius Cooper. So, he might have to play. He might be in that category to have to play first quarter or something like that. And if that's the case, you're going to try to get him the football to get 1,000 yards. I don't think it's something that you need to push for. But if he's going to play, they'll probably try to feed him the ball.
John, I mean, all right, that's great. Didn't they not let Saquon Barkley make history last year? I mean, they're going to put Devonta Smith out there to get him 44 yards for 1,000. I mean, I don't know. Does that rub players the wrong way? If I'm Saquon Barkley today and they put Devonta out there to go get his, 44 yards so he can get to 1,000, I'm looking back at last season like I had a chance to write the history books. No?
Well, I don't think Saquon cares, especially after how it ended with a Super Bowl championship and the most rushing yards ever if you can include the postseason. So he kind of just shifted gears. I think it's not about the 1,000 yards. I think it's more of, are you going to play a whole football game with three receivers as opposed, you need the body more than you needed the body at running back. So from that standpoint, like I said, you're going to see, whether it's Nolan Smith or Jay Alexander, you're going to see one of them because you have to see one of them. you only have 53 players to work with. So it's not like a preseason game. Some guys have to play. And in the case of, Devontae versus AJ is going to be the first to sit. Devontae is going to be the second. You don't have numbers at that position. They weren't able to bring up anybody off the practice squad because they had to elevate Charlie Hewlett, the long snap, and they went with Brandon Johnson. So, again, can you play a whole game with Darius Cooper and Jahan Dotson and Britton Covey? Probably not. So one of them's going to play. It's going to be Devontae, and if he's playing, you probably want to funnel the ball his way. And I don't think it's meaningful. I mean, is it really that meaningful for people at Devonta Smith? Does it make him a better receiver if he goes over 1,000 yards?
It doesn't to me. Last year, I think, was actually meaningful. I mean, you're talking. I know you put in the caveat. Well, they won the Super Bowl, but from a personal accolade standpoint, that was a pretty meaningful accolade that Saquon could have accomplished last year. The 1,000 yards, I don't think, is all that meaningful.
Well, if I was stuck at 9 sacks and I had a shot to get 10. I mean, I'd want to try to get to the 10 sacks. I'd want that number.
It's interesting. We me and a couple other beat writers were having this conversation. It's interesting that the football side of it, and I've had this discussion with Zander, the football side of it doesn't match up with the business side of it. In other words, it's like you talk to the coaches and they don't give a rat's ass who has 1,000 yards and 2,000 yards and 10 sacks and 9 sacks. Talk to Vic Fangio. Are you effective? Are you doing what you want to do? And again, it's with the players more like Josh Uche today. If he gets 3 sacks today, he gets a big bump as a 1-year contract guy. Well, doesn't that encourage selfishness? If you got a big check dangling out there, the business side's really got to get on the same page as the football side.
Hey, sorry, John. I jump in that one little rowboat by myself when I see that check weight.
Well, everybody does.
It's
can't blame them. Nature. It's human nature. If somebody tells me, well, I'm going to get an extra $300,000 for getting a sack today, guess what? I might not be as disciplined as I typically am.
Hey, John, I'm going to run around as many blocks as I can to get back.
Yeah, I'm now rooting for Josh Uche today to go get his 3 sacks. Go get it, brother. John, can you just give me the list of inactives, man? I didn't get the full list. I saw it posted up, but just for the benefit of the people listening to the show who didn't get a chance to see it.
It's mainly the injured guys, so nothing abnormal, just a lot of big names. But the guys who are already ruled out, like Nakobe Dean, Marcus Epps, Jalen Phillips, Lane Johnson, Jalen Carter, Landon Dickerson, Dallas Goedert, are all inactive. So that is a star-studded inactive list.
Yes, it is.
There's going to be a lot more not playing. Some guys are dressing, like Jordan Mailata said, he's dressing. But the plan is for him not to play. But again, you only have 3 tackles, so it looks like they're going to start Fred Johnson at left tackle, Matt Pryor at right tackle, Tyler Steen at right guard, Brett Toth at left guard, Drew Kendall at center, and then probably after a quarter or so, they'll play Cam Williams at right tackle, kick in Matt Pryor to play right guard when Steen leaves. But, one guy gets banged up and somebody's got to come back in. So you do need to have some bodies just in case. But the goal is to get through this game with the backups playing and being as healthy as possible.
John, would you not, in this situation, to try to get Jahad Campbell a little bit more reps at the edge here, wouldn't this be a good situation to try to get him out there? Because, he really hasn't played a lot of reps the last couple weeks that he has. Wouldn't this be an opportunity, because you're not going to play Phillips out there? You may not play Hunt. You may want to even get Nolan Smith some reps in a game like this here. How do you think they'll handle that?
No, I think they've scrapped the edge stuff with Jahad Campbell for this season. Now that you have so many bodies. Look, Jalen Phillips is here. Jalix Hunt's playing at a high level. Nolan Smith. Brandon Graham can still play on the edge. So there's no way he's going to play there in the playoffs, where obviously he's the main backup at linebacker. Nakobe's still dealing with that hamstring injury. So I think he's going to start the game at off-ball linebacker. But I don't think he's going to play a lot either. They've seen enough of him at off-ball linebacker. I think it's going to be a big smile Munden Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Game at off-ball linebacker. But no, they've kind of scrapped the edge plan. Right now there's just no reps for him, and if they want to go that way down the road, that's a long time sort of transition where they're going to have to really work in the off season, because he did not look ready to play on the edge when they gave him those snaps before they acquired Jalen Phillips and before Nolan Smith came back from his injury.
John, you can go whatever way with this you want, whichever is the most meaningful to you. If Tanner McKee throws for 303 tutties and balls out today, what exactly will that mean? And I know it sounds like, I'm joking with, you're going to have contract. That's not really what I mean. I think he's got 1 year left on his deal. Could they try and trade him? Could they try and extend him? I think if he has a big game today, there actually is some business stuff with it. If Tanner goes off today, John, what is the result of that?
High ratings for WIP. Hopefully a lot of listeners for Birds 365. From a football sense, nothing, basically. They're certainly not looking to extend a backup quarterback and pay him major money. I mean, the whole point of Tanner McKee as the backup quarterback is to be a cost-effective option. Now, do you hope to convince somebody else somewhere else in a quarterback deficient league that, hey, we'll give up something of significant value for Tanner McKee? Yeah, that would be pie in the sky hope. I don't know how many people are going to look at a Week 18 game where the backups are playing and say, well, I'm going to build my franchise around this guy because he played well in Week 18 in his second career start. But, hey, there's some dumb teams in this league. So
yeah, there's also some bad quarterbacks, John. So I don't know if you have to look at it like you're going to build your franchise around him, but he's better than a lot of these dudes that are trotting out there.
There's some dumb teams. There's some bad quarterbacks. Will somebody give up a second-round pick? Hey, you never know. I'll tell you what. If he plays well, there's a better option for that than if he doesn't play well. So obviously you want him to play well. Hasn't played that much. Again, this is his second career start. I don't think anybody would take the bite out of that apple at this point, but you never know if he plays really well.
Hey, John, so in your opinion, he's taken 48 snaps as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. In your opinion, right now on January 4th, that guy will never, ever be the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles in his career. It'll be somewhere else. Is that correct?
Yeah, and barring injuries.
Barring injuries, of course.
Yeah. No, he's not. No, he's not going to be the starter here. No.
Okay.
The starter here is about to embark on his 5th consecutive postseason berth, and he's already got 2 Super Bowls and a Super Bowl win. I think he's got some deference as opposed to the guy who's got 47 career throws.
John, somebody I'm watching today is the backup offensive lineman, John. They spent a lot of draft picks on these backup offensive linemen. Granted, not all high picks, a lot of 5th, 6th rounders, some 7th rounders. But those are some players I want to watch today, especially with, the struggles I think the Eagles have had, surprisingly on the offensive line this year. Anybody there that you're looking for, John, that you think could have a real future opportunity on this football team?
I thought coming out, Drew Kendall had a chance to be a good center in this league if he was developed correctly. And obviously Cam Jurgens hasn't had his best season despite the Pro Bowl nomination. So I think that's somebody I want to keep an eye on. It looks like he's going to start the game at center because they could have gone with Brett Toth as well. So they want to get a look at Drew Kendall, which I think is important. And you'll get to see Cam Williams at some point. A guy who has a lot of raw tools. A lot of people thought if he stayed in college, he could potentially have a good season at Texas and potentially be a first or second day pick. So to get to see him, unfortunately, Miles Sanders is not in that category. He's on injured reserve. So, but the 2 draft picks and Drew Kendall should get a chance to play the entire game. And hey, Cam Jurgens hadn't played great this year, so let's see if Drew can play the position.
Hey, John, what's the depth going to be behind Davison, Carter heading into the playoffs? We're going to see that today. So we're getting Young and Robinson. Those are the guys that are going to be playing inside. They haven't really played. Now, Young's played some reps, obviously, but Robinson has been a non-factor this year. So is that what we're going to see in this game?
Well, yeah, Morrow might have to play a little bit, Morrow Jomo, but I doubt it, not much. It's going to be, big Byron Young, Ty Robinson game. Brandon Graham will probably also play some inside, as he has done when Jalen Carter was out before. But yeah, the majority of the snaps are going to be for Byron Young, who's played okay as the fourth guy in that rotation. Ty Robinson hasn't played much as a fourth-round pick, so this will be the first opportunity you get to see a decent amount of snaps from him. So he's probably in that category of, people were really fired up because of his nickname and all that kind of stuff about him coming in. So he'll be an exciting player probably for the fans to look at. But yeah, Byron Young and Ty Robinson are going to get the majority of the snaps at defensive tackle. But the Eagles are really good at defensive tackle with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Morrow Jomo.
Johnny Mac, good stuff, man. What's your prediction for the game today, Johnny Mac? And I got one other prediction after we get your game prediction.
Is it fair to give a prediction in this game?
Yes,
my prediction is they will play the game. They will play 60 minutes of football, and the Eagles will win. Because that's how bad. And by the way, if anybody wants to join, I am kicking off a class action suit suing the NFL for making us all watch Josh Johnson, quarterback of football game.
I will do that with you. And John, I need one prediction. The Tanner McKee stat line today will be what?
He's going to throw for 270 and 2 touchdowns. It's going to light up the city of Philadelphia.
Oh, my God, John. I have one comment for you. What's the headline in Philly? Screw this game. I'm with you. This has got a first game and an exhibition game feel to this thing. What's the headline going to be on the JAKIB newspaper come Monday if he throws for 275 and 3 tutties and 28 of 36? What's the headline?
Like I said, WIP throws a party. That's what it is.
All right, John. Good show, brother. We'll talk to you on the halftime and the post-game show. Enjoy the Tanner McKee Bowl today, my friend.
All right, see you guys.
All right, thanks, John. There's Johnny Mac, John McMullen joining us right here on the JAKIB Pregame Show. Good stuff, everybody. Good input there from Johnny Mac. Looking forward to the game today. I'm a little more fired up for this game than John was, my friend.
Well, it's got an exhibition feel, but a game one feel to it. And so, I think it is going to be interesting to see the depth. I want to see those two guys playing inside. You're going to need some of these positions. Hey, dude, what was the key factor for you winning a Super Bowl last year? Isaiah Rodgers' play, Oren Burks' play, guys that were able to go in there and have to step in. Morrow Jomo stepping in when he had to go in there for Milton Williams. I think it's going to be something to keep an eye on. Now, let me ask you this, though. What if you lose the ball game? Everyone in Philly's under the assumption you're just going to win it. What happens if John McMullen's biggest nightmare happens? Josh Johnson throws for 268 yards, and he has 2 touchdowns and they win the ball game. And
First off, Josh Johnson's not. Even if we lose the game today, 28-0, Josh Johnson's not doing that. All right, they're having a crazy game from Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. All right, before they get that. If
Sidney Brown's back there, so I don't know.
If they lose the game today, I think unfortunately it doesn't mean anything other than that Tanner McKee is gonna. Nobody's gonna like Tanner McKee.
You know what? That's a great topic. What happens if he bombs?
Yeah, he's never bombed ever since every time I've watched the guy. Preseason, regular season, filling in for Kenny Pickett, Week 18 last year, Bengals preseason.
Jalen Hurts has bombed. Every quarter, but Dan Marino's bombed.
You're talking about Tanner Manning.
Oh, I got it. He's the most popular quarterback.
Well, I think if they lose today, unfortunately, it'll be worse for Tanner McKee than anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bricks fall on him, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Tanner.
Wait a minute. Do the bricks fall on him or Kevin Patullo? Wait a minute. If Tanner McKee struggles,
ready for this?
Do you blame Kevin Patullo because Jalen struggled in this year at times? They was up and down. And like you said, Tanner's never struggled. What if he struggles with Kevin Patullo?
Myles Garrett just broke the sack record.
Did the guy fall down or did he give it to him?
I don't know. I didn't see it. To answer your question, yes, I think that's a good point on Patullo. I do. But I don't think Tanner's having a bad game today, folks. Sorry. Tanner, this guy can flat out play.
He sacked Joe Burrow, huh?
You know what it reminds me of? And this is going to sound insane to people, but his skill set reminds me of he sees the game. So Phillip Rivers comes off the couch for 5 years and somehow can still complete a pass. Why is that? Because he sees the field. He sees what's going on out there. Tanner sees the game. He's not going to go out there and throw 3 picks. Maybe he could. I don't see it though.
So I see skill set size wise, Rivers, Peyton Manning, and Big Ben.
Holy shit. We have literally created a Madden 99 overall Hall of Fame quarterback in our head.
I see Peyton Manning and I see Phillip Rivers.
Wait, so what's up with this sack? Was it a good sack?
It's Burrow.
Burrow fell over. Oh, no. Don't tell me it was one of them. Here's video. First down. Oh, it wasn't a good sack at all. He barely got it.
That's terrible, man.
He did get around the tackle quick.
My boy Mark Gastineau's got to be looking back on this and how they stole that record from him.
And then steal the record from him.
First Favre laid down for Strahan.
I remember that.
And then now this guy laid down here for Garrett.
Hey, Mark, if you wanted the record to stand longer, maybe you should have got more sacks, buddy.
Well, he did have 21 and a half.
All right. So if he wanted it to last longer than how many years?
40,
then he needed 30 or 24 and a half.
Hey, look.
At
least be on your feet when you go down.
Brett Favre, didn't he, in person at the
that was a dick move.
Yeah, that was a dick move.
He was.
All right, let's rattle off some of these supers. Kyle, we got that one. Jeff Bonehead says, "Happy birthday, you old butt hair." WCBJJ says, "They're going to hang Tanner jerseys next to Foles and Canton after today. 7 tutties, and happy birthday, big guy."
7 tutties, man. 275 and 3 touchdowns with 125 quarterback rating tonight. Will light Philly on fire by this post-game show and then on Monday, boy. Woof.
Tanner Montana, 330 and 4 tutties.
Oh, my God. Hey, wait a minute, Zander. Watch this. Football gods. If you ever, I want for my birthday, please, I want Scanner McKee, 330 and 4 tutties.
I can't wait to watch Tanner McKee. This
Me too, man.
Here, by the way, there's a video John Clark posted up of him delivering a dime to Devonta Smith pregame. I had it playing on my screen next to the show for about 30 minutes straight. Whoop, whoop, right into the bread basket. Here's Phillip. Happy birthday, Big Sills.
Thank you,
I love
guys.
the content from you and Z. I just shotgunned a beer for you and my fellow Jalenites. Go Birds.
Hey, way to go. So you just Jason Kelsey the beer. I love it. You know, he goes slide, he just goes like that there. I mean, I love how he does that.
Yeah, so I was with my you guys remember the legendary Uncle Frank story I gave you from Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So I was with my Uncle Frank for New Year, and he comes up to me and he goes, I know everybody in Philly's praying the Eagles keep winning. Well, it's a good thing they're praying because that's the only reason they're winning any games.
Oh, Jesus.
Because that team stinks. And my Uncle Frank was unhinged on the Birds on New Year.
My God.
He is quick to say Uncle Frank is not a Jalenite. He says, Fat Frank, here we go. Speaking of it, that's ironic. Tanner Day, baby. Can't wait for the shows this week. Fat Frank, looking forward to a Tanner
Day.
Day.
Man, I cannot wait. By the way, Cataldi's on Monday if they lose. And Cataldi's on also, get this. If Tanner throws for over 288 yards, he says he's on.
Jalen Hurts is dressed.
Huh. Interesting.
Full
Kind
gear.
of shocked with that. Kind of shocked with that.
He's out there. Is
AJ dressed? Is AJ dressed?
I don't see AJ.
Okay.
But I haven't. He may
Barkley dressed?
I don't see Barkley yet either. I see Shipley. I see Bigsby.
Huh. Are any of the defensive guys dressed?
I don't know yet. John just put up a picture of Jalen dressed.
Wow. Interesting.
Fredo says they're letting Smitty get his 44 yards. By the way, I'm
with you.
John's explanation is fine.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Every guy. You telling me a receiver doesn't want to get 1,000 yards?
You're telling me Saquon Barkley didn't want to fucking make NFL history?
Absolutely.
That's insane.
Bro, players want those, man.
Yeah, they should want them. I know
I
get what John's saying, but come on, man.
By the way, guys like Devontae, Jahan Dotson versus Devonta Smith. At the end of the day, Devonta Smith might be at the end talking about a Marvin Harrison type Hall of Fame career. They're going to add up 1,000-yard receiving years, dude.
I know. Well, so Jalen's dressed. If Jalen trots out there to start, I got a funny prediction that the Eagles fans will boo because they want to see McKee today.
You don't think they're starting him, do you?
No. It's a numbers thing. Like who? Because you need 3, right?
Yeah, but what happened to the Sam Howell guy?
Yeah, Sam Howell. Well, he'd be behind McKee and then Kyle McCord, right?
Yeah, well, what's Jalen dressing for?
I wonder if they ran out of inactive. Is there a certain amount of inactives you can have in a game?
You can only have 2 active quarterbacks. What's wrong with Howell? I didn't know he was hurt. Is he?
Well, I wonder if Jalen is the emergency number 3 today.
Okay. That's what it is, but you don't. Okay, so they're going to dress the Super Bowl MVP as the 3rd guy? Emergency dude? All right. Or is it that they're going to start him out there because they don't want all the hoopla and they want him to get a touchdown pass, touchdown passes?
But Devonta will get the 44 yards quicker with.
Oh, they're going to get. That's what they're going to do. They're going to start Hurts so that Hurts gets him the 1,000 and not Tanner McKee get him the 1,000.
Dude, he'll get it quicker with
if
McKee.
They do that, I will rip the shit out of them.
Rice is right. Max of 7 inactives. You'll get it faster with McKee.
If they start Hurts.
Wait a second. Wait.
That's what they're going to do.
No. I have a problem with this.
Of course
you have 16 games with Jalen Hurts to get your 1,000 yards. Your receiver has to come in with the backup quarterback to get the job done. Now they're going to let Hurts go out and get it?
Let's see, man.
Let Tanner play. Let Tanner play. Come on, man. That's the only storyline from today anyway.
Wow. No, wait. Let's see how it plays. I want to see how it plays out.
They're not starting Hurts, they're saying.
Okay, they're not starting Hurts. All right.
All right, we'll see.
Because get this. So that means that Tanner gets him his grant? Ooh, okay. All right.
We'll see what happens. All right. Yeah, Rice. You know what the other fan bases are joking around? The quarterback in Philly's is stiff. Your receivers need to go to the backup quarterback in order to get their bonuses. That's what the joke. Right. So we're the joke of the league with stuff like that, right?
He
Whether you like it or
dropped a
not.
stiff bomb on him.
Your receivers need to wait till the final game for the backup to come in so they can get their
Dropped a
incentive.
stiff bomb on him.
Here's Billy Don. That's a nice Italian happy birthday there.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you.
Tanner, 285, 3 tutties, 1 pick, and then Birds win 24-17. Get rid of that pick. No picks for Tanner.
285, 3 tutties, no picks, 24-17.
He's got a pick.
Birds. I see that, but I don't believe he is either.
Me neither.
No way, man. No way.
All right, we're 40 minutes away or 50. I don't know how long we are from kickoff. 4:25, I think the kickoff.
4:25 is the kick.
52 minutes away. All right. What is your prediction for the game today, Sills?
I'm going to hang at 28-14. Eagles.
28-14. I like that score.
28-14. I don't believe that.
I'll tell you on that. I'll go 28-14. I like that.
I don't see any offense really being like thrown up there by Washington in this game.
All right, we got to do this before we run. So one thing we've done on the pregame show pretty consistently this year, not every game, but we've done it, is we've looked at the props. What do you think the prop is set at for Tanner McKee's passing yards today?
175 yards.
All right, let's look. I don't know what it is. I'm loading it up right now. Passing props. Player passing. Wow. I don't think Jalen's number was at this once this year.
What is it?
Over under 219.5.
Wow. 219. Jalen's never been over 200 this year.
No, the prop has been over 200, I think, once or twice.
Okay. 219 for a guy with 48 passes in his NFL career? Well, they don't really think highly of your offense.
Over under?
Over.
Me too. Passing touchdowns are at over under 1.5.
You know what's funny, Zander? I posted on my Twitter over under 225 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. I posted that. I have that up. I did that.
All right, you ready? Let's make a JAKIB bet today.
Okay.
I'm not a betting man, but I keep you could say I got like $30 in this account. That's
yeah.
In case I want to do something all right, let's take a prop, a parlay, a same game parlay today. All right. Let's do Eagles win the game, right?
Yep.
You think they cover the 3.5?
Yes.
All right, so let's do the spread. Let's go to passing props. You want to take the over on the yards for Tanner?
Over.
All right, let's do over 219. You want to do over the touchdown and a half?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take the over on the touchdown and a half. All right, and I can do, let's do what? 5 bets or $5? $5 wins me $16.
There you go.
Let's take that bet. So
I think you went over. By the way, what's the over in the points?
Oh, well, before I put it, let me look. The points over under is 38.5.
I wouldn't touch that because you never know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that. Is there any other person we should take? Should we look at yards for Dotson? What about Smitty?
How long is he going to play?
That's too risky.
Dotson's going to play the 4 quarters.
Where's the damn receiving yards?
Yeah, look at Dotson. Don't look at Smith because he may not play the whole game.
I don't even see receiving yards. I don't know if I know how. I'm not very good at this. Oh, yeah. I don't see any. I don't see any receiving props. I wonder it's because they don't know.
What number? Oh, you're going 28-14 also. Okay.
My priest might be watching this. That's true. All right. I'm not a betting man. I never bet. It's all right.
I don't either.
All right. So should I do $5? Should I drop the whole 30 on it? No, let's do
at an exhibition game. Keep that account going, Junior. You never know what's going to happen here with this thing.
This is my first bet of the season. $5 to win $16.75. Eagles minus 3.5. Tanner over 219.5, and Tanner over 1.5 touchdowns.
I completely take that.
Let's drop that sucker. All right, it's taken. All right. There we go. Good stuff. Appreciate everybody being here today. Sills, your final thoughts here on the pregame show.
Hey, man, everybody get out of this thing healthy. Hope Tanner has a gigantic game for content. I'll be looking for it, and please, football gods, bring it. Seriously, though, man, make sure everybody plays safe in this game, too, because you want to go into the playoffs with some momentum and some healthy football players, too, especially your backup guys that you may need. So it's going to be an interesting ball game. I look forward to seeing Kevin Patullo and Tanner McKee in this ball game, and I'll see you guys on the post game.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Talk to you then. Thanks, Sills.
You got it, my friend. I'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Hit the like button.
Later, dude. Happy birthday. There's Big Sills. He's going to cry if I don't say happy birthday. But, all right. Appreciate everybody. The Tanner McKee Bowl, baby. The Tanner McKee Bowl today. All right. I got the $5 bet in. I'm not a betting man, but I feel pretty good that Tanner Manning will help us achieve victory on the parlay today. Okay. I believe that Tanner McKee will lead us to victory on the JAKIB parlay. Okay. $16 worth of free super chats for everybody if we win it. All right. And if not, we're out $5. We're out $5 if not. All right. That'll be deducted from Sileo's pay. No, I'm just kidding. No, it won't. But all right, guys, good show today. Let me get some predictions in the chat, man. Let me get some predictions in the chat. What do we got? Score today. And, I don't even want your score predictions. So save them. What I want is your Tanner McKee predictions. Give me your Tanner McKee stat lines today in the chat. Tanner McKee today will do what? Will do what? Sue, I don't want your score. Tri-Tegrity, I don't want your score. It depends if Hurts plays. 370 and 4 tutties. Tanner throws 2 touchdowns and 275. 24 for 32, 275 and 3 tutties. Look at my boy Tony. Oh, why? Oh, wait. 25 and 35. Or 23 and 35. 330 and 4 tutties. Holy mackerel. Kibo says 158 and 2. Kibo must be a Jalenite. 323 and 3 touchdowns. 251 tutty. I need that 2 tutties. 21 for 28, 200 yards. Come on, they got to let him throw more than that. They don't let the guy play a game a year. 275 and 3 tutties, says Izzy B. 248 and 3 touchdowns. 28 for 36, 286 and 2 touchdowns. Here's Bob Brown. 295 with 3 touchdowns and a 112 rating. Number 16 jerseys all week. All right, here's the deal. I'll give away a Tanner McKee jersey if he throws for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I don't care what his completion percentage is. If he gets 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, we're giving away a Tanner McKee jersey. All right? All right? 300 yards and 3 tutties. Here's John, 33 for 33 for 350 and 4 tutties. Wow, that'd be amazing. Ain't no one want a Tanner jersey. Gary, you'd be surprised. Gary, you'd be surprised. Never happened in Sil's voice. Never. Done. Book it. LFG, Tanner time. If he does that, he'll be the QB of the Raiders. Yeah, Tom Brady will call because Tom Brady knows talent. Do they sell McKee jerseys? It's a good question. I honestly have no idea. I want that jersey just to wear at my brother's house who rocks the Jalen jersey. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. All right, guys. Love all you guys. Appreciate it. We'll be live for the halftime show and the postgame show today. Hope everybody enjoyed the pregame show. The Falcons are winning. Wait, so what's the deal here? What's the deal here? If the Falcons win, does that mean the Panthers are in? Does that mean the Panthers are in if the Falcons win? So the Falcons are winning right now. All right, so the Panthers will be in. The Panthers will be in. All right, so if the Falcons win, the Panthers are in. If the Saints win, the Bucks are in. I don't care who gets in. Do you? I don't give a shit who gets in. No, they both stink. It doesn't matter. So, we'll see what happens. But all right, guys, love all you guys. Izzy B says go Falcons. Izzy B wants to see the Panthers in there, so we'll see what happens. But all right, love all you guys. Appreciate you being here today. Hit the like button. See you next time, everybody.
EAGLES. Eagles.